Next one, we have Tenebre Rosso Sangue by KEYGEN Church from the Ultrakill soundtrack. I had promised this one a while back, so let's do it. Let's check it out. Nice intro with I like the combination. Okay, so we are 7 seconds in. I already love the combination of the piano with the retro synths just starting to fade in a little bit. Very nice and dramatic. Of course, when it comes to Ultrakill, which we have played, it has this whole theme of heaven and fighting angels and all that kind of stuff. But as well, it has that retro vibe of, you know, it wants to remind us of, you know, Doom 2 kind of thing almost, right? PlayStation 2, they had the PS2 graphics mode kind of thing. So it's fitting, and this is very difficult to do as a composer, especially for media, for visual or interactive media, being able to capture the essence of what it is you want to do. There are several ways to do it. The easiest or simplest one usually is to use a leitmotif or a motif. A motif being a musical idea, the essential musical idea. The most obvious one that we have is Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Bum, 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 bum. That's it. He just uses that for 45 minutes over and over again, and he just explores that idea. That is one way, and the other one is to create a vibe, basically. And that's what KEYGEN Church is doing here, which is the more difficult part. Let's see how it goes. Go 4 minutes. Organ, but it still has that synth in the background. We switched from piano to organ to once again give it that vibe of we're moving. Okay. Again, I am not apologizing for pausing so much because I want to explain what I'm catching here. So we heard that it started with piano and then the synths went into organ. The motif, the phrase got transported from the piano to the organ to basically exemplify and demonstrate this ascending. Because, you know, the piano, you have the one keyboard. The organ is usually associated with a temple, with a church, which is what we have in Ultrakill all the time. And then, of course, we get the drums. Metal as hell. This game is metal as hell. The guitar is MIDI. The drums don't quite sound as it. The drums don't quite sound as MIDI. Let me hear a little bit more. There's no guitar. There's no guitar, it's a synth. It's still the synth. Very nice cadence over here. Okay. So here what just happened, let me play this again. Because we have this change is usually not what you would go for this early in the track. So, German, yes, preferably yes. You can also put them on the Twitch chat, but we do have a queue after this. We're gonna start with the Ultrakill ones. So, when you're making music, you are using chords. Chords create harmony. Harmony has one thing that is essential. All harmony does this is create a cadence. Cadence in music is the creation of tension and resolution. There is a concept called deceptive resolution. A deceptive resolution is when you create a cadence. Usually what you would do here in a track like this is that you would just repeat the idea the way you just did it. We heard how the piano goes into the organ then gets the drums, and then the whole ensemble is here. You get that repeated, you build up, you create that cadence, that it's that moment of tension, and then when you resolve, you bring it back to the start and you repeat the idea one more time. What KEYGEN Church did over here is that he went for the deceptive. He went to a completely different place, which is very on theme for Ultrakill. Very, very on theme, because Ultrakill likes to do that a lot, likes throwing those curveballs from nowhere. So, we have this, continue. So now we get a contrasting idea. So yes, I am not apologizing for pausing so much. We get this, we had the first idea, which was a very simple piano arpeggio. It was basically just going through the individual chord, very straightforward. And when he made this switch with the deceptive cadence, it's now syncopated, there's more silence, the idea is now a lot more complicated. Usually when you compose a piece, you want to have your second idea to be a contrast. And this is as contrasting as it gets. Really clever, risky to do a deceptive cadence this early, but it works. Let me see what else. Yep, drums change the beat. Here we have the cadence again. Cadence. Now we're expecting to resolve. So this one technically resolves, but to the lower end. Nice, very nice. We're keeping on track. This is more like a breakdown kind of thing. It is... And we bring back the original theme from the very start under this new context. Now it feels a lot more epic. And this is a very interesting compositional, very useful compositional idea. And he's doing a lot of... I'm noticing KEYGEN is going against a lot of the conventions over here. He's not repeating the ideas the way one usually would. That works really well. He's still making it work. He's using deceptive resolutions earlier than you usually would. And in this case, a very, very, very efficient, effective compositional technique is to take a very busy lower end of your music. Very, very busy. So very heavy drums, very fast bass, all that kind of stuff. Very busy. And at the very top, have a melody that is just floating. A little bit longer. This is very... very effective. Let me show you a track where this happens. Let me just look it up. It's with this track. These guys do it. This is also used in Moulin Rouge. But basically, once we get... I know, I'm using this one as an example. Where do we have the... Here we go. So here is how it's used. You're gonna hear that the background, that the backing track, the drums, the bass is keeping a very steady beat, and he's singing this melody that is floating above a very busy landscape, so to speak, which gives you this idea that you're floating, that you are flying above everything else. So you have this very, very beautiful. Then we also have it in Moulin Rouge. It was Roxanne. Roxanne does the same in Moulin Rouge. So he's gonna do this here. We have. So you hear the lead voice having this very simple melody floating above everything else that is happening in the rest of the melody. And yes, this is with Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor? What's the name of the I forget names. The actor, our favorite actor for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is how it's usually done. KEYGEN Church decided to put this melody at the center. There's busy stuff above, there's busy stuff below. And the melody is at the center. So now instead of you feeling like you're flying up above in like seeing everything below you and everything happening beneath you, you are flying through it. Which is precisely what happens in the game. This is really clever. This is really, really clever use of of this technique. A way to just flip it on its head and everything. And Kuriso, welcome to today. How you doing? So you can hear that now it's the bass side of the organ, but you still have the drums, the bass, but then you have the upper melody. And we're continuing this. The upper part is busy, lower part is busy, and you have the bass line being a very simple melody. This is very clever. It sounds like Castlevania. It's KEYGEN Church. It has a lot. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of inspiration from that, yeah. Cadence, resolution, back to the original theme. You tease it and you bring it straight back. You get a moment of rest, what you think is a moment of respite. Never mind, you're still flying through it. Fitting for this game. Cadence. Extended cadence. Okay, and now we have another contrasting idea, which is normal for this kind of thing. It kind of feels like a bridge. You're connecting different sections where you are bringing something completely different while still using the material that you have. So, question, are you using Restream? No. I used to use Restream until they betrayed me and they became incredibly useless. I found a way to do this natively from my OBS. There are videos out there on how to do it natively. There's an extension on OBS on how to do it. So basically it's all native. I don't have to go through any company for this. I just do it from my end. You just need to have the upload speed for it. But yeah, let's continue. And we bring it back to that, like, breakdown-esque idea. As I said, a bridge that connects the ideas. And we bring... Oh! Primal the Raptor, thank you for being subscribed for 16 months. I appreciate it, man. Your continued support is disrupting the analysis. There you go. Thank you once again for your continued support. 16 months already, man. Holy shit. Thank you. Enjoy your continued status as a Resto Bastard. Enjoy your emotes and your badge and all that. So, back to this. Clever. He's bringing stuff that he was using on the bridge. He's mixing it up with idea number 2. There you go. I mean, right now we're starting to bring. We are reaching the outro, so we're starting to do this climax. Usually in music, the climax is at near the end of the track. Usually, most tracks worth their salt will have some sort of climax at the very end. That's going to be the climactic moment, which is what we're building up to. We're taking basically all of the ideas and somehow fitting them together so that you end on a high note kind of thing. Let's see if that plays out. Same theme as the very beginning. Cadence slows down for that sweet resolution outro, and you bring it all back down. It all comes full circle. What a brilliant track. Tenebre Rosso Sangue by KEYGEN Church. In just under 4 minutes, this guy has managed to just convey so much in, again, 4 minutes. This is relatively little time to convey so many musical ideas, reflect so many things that happen in the game. This is really, really clever stuff. And yes, the slowing down for the outro is such a common thing. That sweet. It's not a ritardandi. It's a it's not a decrescendo. Yeah, I think you should just call it slowing down. So yes, I have to play this game. It's a lot of fun. Imagine a gameplay like Doom or Quake with a retro perspective, and you play as a machine. It's a lot of fun. We've played it. It's still in development. but they're releasing the new update soon, as far as I've told. Like, we have about around a month from the time of this stream till the next area. I've enjoyed it a lot. We have the full playthrough on the YouTube channel, so it's really, really good stuff. This track, I am surprised at how much. And usually when it comes to taking these very reliable conventions and flipping them on their head, usually you need to have a very skilled composer to do something like this. It's very rare that you will see somebody that does this by accident. So that means KEYGEN Church knows what he's doing. KEYGEN Church knows what's going on, knows the craft, and most importantly knows the game. Because every bit, every second of this track reflected perfectly the vibe of Ultrakill. Which, considering it's Ultrakill and all the insanity that it has, pretty difficult to do. Pretty difficult to do. So, good stuff. I'm subscribing. I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed. Really, really good stuff. And absolutely just brilliant, brilliant stuff. So, let's move on